What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining us. We are live. Welcome back to the Let's Build a $1 million business stream. That doesn't really roll off the tongue. I'm going to come up with something a little bit more, appealing than that. But thank you so much for joining. Today, what we're going to be doing is I've been thinking a lot about this over the weekend, and I really need to start focusing on Pixel Media and getting that company up and running, in the sense that I need a website. And with that, I need products, I need services. I need to start getting into trying to, get some new customers. So that's what I think we're going to focus on today. And I did touch base on things last week about ideas and concepts about how we're going to make money, the different products and services we could possibly offer, and what the actual, what's the term? Like, how we're going to how are we going to make money? Like, what's the business case? What the hell is that term? I think I did the exact same thing last week of not being able to figure out what that is. Like, your business strategy? What is it? What the hell is it when you're running a business that it's just how you make money? What is that called? I know there's a term with it, and I was out for a walk and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it's called. Why didn't I think of that? And now I can't remember. Brutal. This is killing me. Anyways, hope everyone is doing well today. So we've been at this, revenue streams, right? Let me see if my comments here are working. Are they going to show up? I think that's showing up. Yeah, Gavin, revenue streams. Yeah, I mean, that's one way to think about how to get money for sure. But there's an actual term, I think, about how a business operates and how they're not their sales funnel, but I can't think of it. It's killing me. I know there's something. It's lost to me. Brutal. Anyways, maybe it's in my notes. I'll have to take a look at my notes. What I've also done today is I set up this new office setup, and I have this new angle here. It's this overhead angle, and it's not very good right now, but I really like working on pen and paper. I tried with the whole thing using Photoshop and whatever. It's not ideal, and I really like taking things analog, I guess you can say, and just writing things down. So I think we'll do that today for actually jotting down what ideas we have. And Gavin, I saw your comment there that you left on last week's video, and you had some pretty good suggestions in terms of how to make some revenue. So we'll go over those. It was a little too much to unpack in a single comment, but thank you so much for taking the time to put that together. Very, very thoughtful, and some really good ideas there. So we'll go over that. So I'm looking forward to that. Right. So I think we should just get started. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm trying to clear out my desk here. So we can go to this angle. Shoot, you know what? This is really annoying because my microphone is in the way. So I'll have to figure that out. But hopefully this shows well. Let me get my favorite pencil. Is it even in here? Oh my goodness, I shouldn't be flashing software codes online. Where's my pencil? That's a pencil, but that's not my favorite one. Maybe I'll use a pen. I don't know. All right. If you saw a product key, maybe just don't use it. Or if you do, then I guess you get some free software. There we go. Okay, what's on screen here? Okay, is this gonna... All right, let me know how the audio is, because I'm gonna move my microphone a little bit further away from my face. Okay. this is ridiculous. Oh, that's like not going anywhere. All right. Okay, so let's get started. How's that? Do I need to zoom in more? Oh, it sounds okay, Gavin? Okay, thanks. I hope it means it sounds okay as in it's good, but not just like, yeah, it's okay, but could be better. Okay, so of course there's what is the company, which another way to say what are the products, what are the services. So, and my initial thought is first and foremost, we have to build websites. And my idea, thinking way into the future, or hopefully not actually way into the future at all, hopefully by the end of this year, is to be able to hire some people to build these websites for me so that I can focus on actually going out there and talking to customers and potential customers and getting in customers. So doing all the marketing associated with it. So if I can pay someone to actually build the websites, I could focus on interacting with people, doing live stream, doing all the stuff that I really love doing, as opposed to just sitting down and building a website, which is fun, but there's other things I would rather be doing. So building websites. So actually, So I think this should, like I was saying, this should be the focus. Let's figure out one thing and be really, really good at that and just be excellent at the one thing. Yeah, that makes the most sense. And then in the future, we can branch out into doing other things, which would be things like video production, could be audio production as well too. So think of people that want podcasts. That could be even like a video podcast. I always thought too, it would be really great to have a studio where I can set up like a podcast studio, and then people could rent out the space as well too to do their own thing. And then you could do video podcasts, and then you could see, the thing is, when you do a podcast, there's so much other content you can take, and you could cut up and you chop it up and put it on TikTok, LinkedIn. There's so many things you can get from one piece of content. And I know, these are things that I know I need to do for myself as well, but it just takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So audio podcasting. Sorry if my handwriting is terrible. Right. So there could be marketing services. Is that double T? I'm not sure. So, if people need help with social media, if they need help with writing content, so if they have a blog or whatever, like a news feed or something that they want people to be able to go to the website and get information on. Actually, let me bring up, Gavin, I'm going to bring up your list that you made here, and I'll go through, you know what I'll do? Let me put them on here, and then we could do this. Is that enough to see? I feel like my face is blocking that. Okay, so First one, provide updates of the website, to work properly on the latest browser versions. Now, when I first got into designing and building websites, it was back in the day where it was Internet Explorer 5. And there was a big debate. There was lots of debates like, what's the best browser? And it was like Firefox, or I think there was Safari at the time. But Internet, of course, was huge. It had like 60 or 70% domination in terms of the market. And Chrome was in there as well, too, and Chromium. And it used to be a really, really big problem to have to build something and make sure it works for all the different browsers. But nowadays, the technology has gotten so good that, and it's pretty much consistent across all browsers. Now, pretty much, there are still some issues depending when you're crossing different browsers. But for the most part, when you build a website, especially if you're using a tool like Webflow or Wix or what have you, if it works on one, it's going to work on the other. So it's generally something that you really don't need to worry about unless you're getting into things that are very, very like on the edge of the new like CSS or HTML that's kind of just being developed. So for just standard layouts and stuff, everything works really well, and it's not something you need to worry about so much. That being said, it's something too that you can definitely put in there in your services or packages to say that we're going to make sure, and we're going to test our site to make sure, test your site to make sure that it's available on all the different browsers. Not available, but that just works perfectly on all different browsers. On the same way too, you want to make sure that it's mobile responsiveness, because I don't know what the stats are, but I think at least half the internet that is being served, or half the people that go on the internet, are going through on a mobile phone. So it's very, very important to make sure that your site works just as good as it does on a desktop as it does on a phone or a tablet. Provide update, content update. Yeah, so we're just talking about that in that, and I was thinking about this. Think of a company that's a small company, they don't have a team, and they'll come to Pixel and say, "Hey, make our website." Yes, but we also want you to help us, craft content. So you can get a team of people to help write content around that market or whatever that niche is. And depending on how frequently they want that content, that's, you just work with the company to develop a plan for that. So yeah, content generation. I have it written down here, but let me just make another note of that. And the thing as well too is, if you're trying to rank for specific search terms, one of the best things you can do is to just keep on pumping out content that people find valuable around that search term. So for example, if you wanted to do something about surfing and teaching people how to surf, or you have a website that is, showcasing your surfing clinic or whatever, you take people out surfing. And one of the good things to do would be to keep making blog posts talking about surfing, talking about how people can get involved with surfing, the different things that people would want to read about if they're learning how to surf. So by continually providing that content and that value for people, and that's the key thing too, is it has to be really valuable. Because when you think of a search engine, it's all about, like, when people search for something and they hit a site, Google wants to give the most accurate results to that person, right? So when that person, if they stay at that website because they're getting good content, Google's going to know that that content is valuable, right? So it's all about value at the end of the day. There's no quick, easy hack to be able to get into a high ranking, and of course to stay there. So high quality content that people find valuable, and to create that takes time. It takes time, and it's something that I think a lot of companies, I know a lot of companies do pay for it, but like big companies, but are smaller companies going to pay for that? I don't know. That's the question, and I guess we'll find out. Website maintenance. Yeah, of course, doing backups and standard maintenance. That's always something that's important. And that's something that I know that I build in right now, just website maintenance and your standard hosting. So that's a good one. Ongoing monitoring and reporting. Reporting is important. Every site that I have does have analytics, and the ones that I have, some of the clients, they don't, because they don't want that, but it is a service that I can offer, and that I should offer, and is a fantastic idea. Providing update links page related to internet sites and knowledge bases. Links page related to internet sites and knowledge bases. Oh, right. I think what you're getting at here is, would it almost be like a repository or a resource landing page where people can get other information pertaining to kind of the same theme? So something like that would be good. But the problem that I see with that is that takes a lot of time and effort to be able to make sure that all those links are up to date. And I'm not sure if that's something that I personally find very interesting to do. And if it's something that would be worth the price tag. Like, I don't know if the return on investment would be there for a client, basically, in terms of how much time it would take to do that, to, you know, see any actual benefit for that person, especially if you're taking someone from one website and you're sticking them to somewhere else. You generally want to keep them onto your website if you can at all possible. Flyers, blog posts, we kind of talked about that, and ads. So I think that would go into the whole marketing bin. Creating flyers, I've done that before, and I've done that for some people already. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do, just basically like graphic design stuff, but definitely a great add-on package. And one thing that I would really like to do is to reach out to other local business people here in the community and get a network of people that I could send other people to. Because especially if something is not my forte, I don't want to just force it on and say, hey, I could do that, and just do kind of half-ass job. So find really good people here locally that I can partner with. And if there's any work that I can send their way, then I think that would be good, instead of, you know, trying to be the one-stop shop for everything. Advertisements. That's a whole big can of worms. I've done ads, like ad marketing before, like I've created ads, and I've also done ad campaigns. But I'm not as familiar with it as I would want to be in order to be able to offer it as a service, in order to be able to kick off campaigns for people. Like, I know other companies, that's people that I've worked for that have hired ad agencies, and they've done work for them, and it cost a shit ton of money, and the ROI on there, I don't think was done, like, it wasn't there at all. But we're talking spending high 5 figures, and, you know, for like a few thousand clicks or whatever. I think I would have to get good at it first before I'd want to offer something like that. But it's a place where I think you can generate a whole lot of revenue, which is really good. Social media presence, yeah, that's definitely a given. If people need help with social media, we can certainly help with that. Set up a user forum or sites for admin and moderate. You enjoy this? Well, we should definitely talk at some point and get together and have a chat, because it's something that I've always wanted to do, to create a forum. And that's kind of based off of the podcast that Andrew and I have been doing, and the stuff that we've been working on in terms of, you know, trying to develop a better life and all that fun stuff of different things that you can do in order to help improve your life. And to have some type of forum or community around that would be really cool. But that takes a lot of work, and having people to be able to do that would be really, really kind of cool. But yeah, creating forums, there's lots of tools out there to make forums, and it's something that, I don't know, a lot of people want. So definitely something to keep in mind. Absolutely. Monitor competition. I have a different view, I think, than most people on competition and learning and about, well, I should say this is my personal view in terms of my business and competition. I try not to worry too much of what other people are doing, and I try to focus more on what I'm doing, in the sense that if a competition is doing something, it doesn't mean that I necessarily want to go ahead and try to copy them or do what they do, because the reason for why they're doing something could be completely different as to the reasons as to why I'm doing something. And yeah, I don't know. And to be honest, I don't worry about that so much, because if I'm doing a good job and, you know, there's only one of me, and if people want to do business with me and enjoy the work that I do, then I think they'll come with me. And what the competition is doing is, I don't know, it's pretty much irrelevant. I don't really worry about competition. Do other people worry about them? Absolutely. Do they like to do market analysis and all that kind of stuff? Absolutely they do. Do I know how to do that? No, I don't really do that. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. But it's not my area of forte. That's for sure. So I don't think it'd be something that I would particularly be offering at this stage of the game. Anyways, is it important when you're having big, huge campaigns? Absolutely it is. Not quite there yet. Updating databases, product databases. If someone was doing any kind of e-commerce store or what have you, I would certainly be building that stuff out and updating their databases. Not a problem. Search engine work, that ties in a lot with content creation. Creating and maintaining web stores. Yeah, again, like e-commerce, if that's what they want. I've certainly done e-commerce stores before. Not too much different than making standard websites. Of course, maintaining databases and all that kind of stuff. Creating videos, absolutely. 24/7, I'm a hotline. Well, the thing is, with my customers, they can reach out to me whenever they want. Whenever they have any issues, I always tell them reach out to me at any time. Do I have a phone number? I mean, I do have a phone number, but I haven't given them my phone number. But it's probably something that once I get to that stage where I know that there's customers that need to make sure their sites are running, in the dead of the night, especially with e-commerce, you want it to be running all the time, then they will certainly have my personal phone number and be able to access me. Accessibility, that's a huge thing. And with the tools, like I use Webflow and they do help out with accessibility. But you're right in that there's so many things that can be done that oftentimes are neglected. There's things with people with visual impairments, people that are colorblind, people that can't see, that have to use different tools in order to navigate websites. As you're saying, instead of using a keyboard and mouse, there's other tools as well too, to make sure your website is still accessible. And those are all those little different codes and stuff you need to put it into different tags or whatever to make sure that the user can go through the website and read it or have it read to them in a way that makes sense. And that has to do with how you're coding as well. There's lots of things. So yes, it's something that is super important that I know personally that I know I need to do a better job at because sometimes, unfortunately, for me, I know it's been a little bit more of an afterthought other than the fact of making sure I do the bare minimum that I should say the bare minimum. I do more than the bare minimum, but I know I could be doing a better job. And this is where maybe I'm too hard on myself. I don't know. But to make sure that everything, dealing with your hierarchy of how things are flowing on in your code. So you have H1 tags and the paragraphs and the different tags that you use all depends on how the browser or whatever accessibility device is interpreting the code and how it relays that to the person. So is that important? Absolutely. You can offer services to do audits of people's websites and help them be more compliant or to be more accessible for different people. Super important. And it could be something that is more important as we move forward here. So fantastic idea. Definitely something to be aware of for sure. So that's the list, Gavin. Thank you so much for providing that. Like seriously, like what an amazing list. Thank you so much for putting that together. And it's going to be something that I know that I'm going to be referring to quite a bit here as I continue to think about what kind of services I'm going to offer. Okay, so let's going back to everything here. Get out of the way, microphone. Maybe this one's okay here. Okay. So if I'm going to be focused on just building websites, right? So, you can't even see that. There we go. Building websites. So if this is the focus, what are the different revenue wastage? Like, what's the word? I had to do it as the tip of my tongue. What's the strategy in order how to make money? So, I mean, what's the typical way? So, you have a website, whatever, and then it's basically like a contact form. And you might have some details of, like what's your budget, what's your time frame, a quick description of the issue. And I hope you can see this. I can see it on my screen. I can't zoom in anymore. This is as zoomed in as this goes. So if I need to, maybe next time I'll lower the camera so it's visible, but hopefully you can see that. Or maybe I could just write really big. So description, what's your time frame? No, did I already have that time frame? Yeah, I already got that. So budget, time frame, description. What else would people ask? I don't know. That's whatever. That's not too important, but it's just, that's a good idea. So, and then after that, there might be a phone call scheduled. And then a quote's given. So there might be a few other things there in between the phone call and quote, like they might ask for a portfolio or some case studies of different projects or whatever you worked on. But generally, contact the person, have a discussion, find out exactly what they're looking for, what the requirements are, and then provide a quote. And then it's decided, from there, it's a yes or a no, basically, right? So that could end up being a lot of work, which is fine. I think when you're having contracts that are above, I would say, for me anyways, anything above $10,000, I think you'd want to get into this process of getting a quote, even as much as 25 grand. Obviously it depends on the company, but a bigger company that has some pockets, is making some good revenue, is going to understand kind of what the value a website can bring them. And say, they just want a standard website, a forward-facing website, with some contact information, or maybe just a little bit of functionality in terms of interaction with their users. For $20,000, they might just know that they want it and they just kind of want it right away. And then to paying for something like that might be something that they could be willing to do without too much of thinking about it. It's maybe, I could be wrong, but it is possible. But my point here is between this $10,000 and $25,000 range, can we simplify this process? Simplify. What do I mean by that? What are the barriers, right? So one, they have to fill out this form. So number two, then they have this big phone call, this big schedule, this, make sure there's time and have this meeting. Then three, then they're going to need to go over the quotation and kind of analyze that. And there might even be a fourth one of going over the work and the qualifications of the person. Qualifications. So there's 4 steps that I would have to go through with a potential client in order to land the deal, right? In order to get that person from a prospect to a client. So what could we do to potentially simplify that? So if we had an online, like an order form, where instead of a contact us form, you have almost like a buy now button. Yeah, a purchase form to just like buy a website. And here's the thing. Here's something interesting. Are people willing to spend a lot of money on something without, seeing it first or talking to somebody? And one thing that I want to take a look at here is, let's look at like Tesla. Like, you look at their website, and zoom in here a little bit. And when you want to buy something, what do I want to buy? I want to buy a car. So what's their... Oh, I don't know. Anyways, you don't go to the dealership and haggle, negotiate, or whatever. You just go here and okay, what do I want? I want a Model 3, blah, blah. I want performance. What color would I want? Yeah, let's get a red one. Whatever, right? Oh, we got to have the white interior. Oh, yeah. Whatever we want. Enhanced autopilot. Oh, we want to add this. Whatever. Continue to payment. So here's my car. And I could just order it. So 250s, dude. I could get this today, guys. Non-refundable order fee. So the point I'm trying to make here with looking at this website is here you are ordering a car for $73,000 without seeing it, without talking to anybody. You're doing this all online. And I mean, I guess Tesla, obviously they have a big name, so you kind of know what you're getting, but it's still a big purchase. It's still a way of doing something, a way of doing business that's a little bit different than maybe what we're used to. So instead of like going through this and saying, oh, I want this and this and this, can we do the same thing with a website? Can it be, oh, here's my website, you're at Pixel instead of Tesla, and then you select all the different features you want on your website, and then each feature costs a certain amount of money. So, I mean, it makes sense to me in that you can simplify that process, but the question is, I guess this is what we're going to learn, is are people going to actually want to do that? Or are they going to want to talk to somebody? Of course, they can still call and ask questions and whatever. But are they going to feel confident enough to make a big order of a website that's like $20K online without talking to anybody? I mean, I guess that's where the whole website and the word of mouth and all whatever is going to come into play in terms of people realizing that I actually do good work. So that's going to be on me to showcase what I can do on my website. But one of the problems, one sec. The problem, or I don't know if this is necessarily a problem, but one thing to keep in mind, or that I should keep in mind, is the difference between offering a product and service, or just offering a product, or no, offering a product and a service and paying a flat fee for it versus paying or versus value-based pricing. So what I know about value-based pricing is that your price that you're going to charge a client is not dependent on how much work you do or how much time it takes you, but on the value that a client is going to get from that project. For example, say there's a new startup company that comes to me, they want to do an e-commerce store. So they've never sold anything before, and they have hardly any money. They're bootstrapping. They have, maybe $5,000 to spend on a website, and they don't even know how much money they're going to make or what they're going to sell. So for that, I would charge them a much smaller amount than I would charge, say, on the flip side, Nike comes to me and says, hey, I need you to build this little e-commerce platform here or whatever. And the reason why we need to do it is because we need to 10x how much money we're selling because we're not selling them. So if you do this project for me and, I tell them, I'm going to do this and this to optimize the site, and you're going to 10x your sales, and their sales are going to go from $1 million to $10 million. I'm not going to charge that first company $5,000, and I'm not going to charge Nike $5,000 for doing even though it's the exact same work, but the outcome, the value that they're getting is far superior. So for that Nike site, I'm 10xing their site. That work should cost, I have no idea what, $1 million, $2 million, whatever it is, because they're going to make that and more within like a couple months, right? So that's the difference between just pricing your stuff as a product and a service as just like, this is just what I charge, it doesn't matter who you are, versus it depends on who it is that you're marketing to. So all of that being said, I love the idea of value-based pricing. It totally makes sense, especially if you're in the creative space. Totally makes sense. But who are the types of clients that I'm going to be going after? Who are the types of people that are going to come to Pixel Media and ask for my services? So I think initially the people that I'm going to be looking for are going to be people that are more the smaller, medium-sized businesses that aren't going to have, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend, on a monthly or on a yearly basis, to do this kind of stuff. So, I mean, there's obviously something to be said about targeting those types of businesses. It would be great to only get 1 or 2 clients a year and charge each of them, $250,000. But that's a lot of stress that comes with dealing with high profile clients as well too. So I don't think that is the way that I'm going to want to go, I think, initially. So yeah, it's something to think about, but I really think it's okay at the start to go with the model of somebody wants a website, the base price is, $5,000 or whatever it is. So purchase form to buy a website, right? So they can get on there. So every website, whatever they have, is just like a basic package. Ugh. So say a basic package is $5,000, right? That kind of makes sense to me. That's probably around the area that I want to start with. So basic package. And then from there, when they're on the order form, they can add on different things, right? So what do you want? Do you want, e-commerce? Okay, well then that is plus, $5,000 if you want to start selling some stuff online. I'm just kind of generalizing things here because there's lots of things. There's the thing with e-commerce too. It depends, right? Does somebody want to sell one digital product, or do they want to set up a whole store? They have a brick and mortar store, and then they also want to now start selling online, and they have to tie in all their inventory from their brick and mortar store with their online store. Those are two completely different things, and they're not going to each cost the same amount. So maybe for something like this, as an example, that could be digital products only. Maybe that's where me as a businessman and Pixel Media, what we're capable of doing is, just digital e-commerce. So another add-on would be, what could another add-on be? It could be social media / content creation. Do you want content to be generated or created for you? And there could be 2 different things for that as well. There could be content to create just on the website itself, or it could also be content that is continually being created. And this would be stuff, this stuff would be kind of like recurring. As another example of that would be like hosting. So but there could also be things too of, do we offer these services as standalone services as well too, right? So maybe somebody wants content creation, like, I need somebody to write a blog post a week, but they might already have a website. So can they purchase these services on their own? I don't know. Okay. Okay, get out of the way. All right, services, of course. There's design and development. So we have also selling digital products. And there's also video, photo production. See, the thing I'm thinking, like, these are hard to, hard to just say there's a flat fee for this. Somebody wants a website, but then they also want, a video to play on their homepage or whatever. It depends, like, what kind of video is it going to have to be? How difficult is it going to be to shoot this video? Is there going to be any travel involved? There's all kinds of scenarios where I could see that something like that would need more of a quotation. So this is where it's really difficult to tease out what can be done. Yeah, what can be done through like a simple contact form, or what can be done. Yeah. Right. Okay. Hang on. Okay. I just got a thought. Let me write a few things down here, and then I want to go to this thought that I have. Okay. So web design, digital products, video photo production, and then marketing services. Right. Hang on a second. I have some other highly sensitive and secret notes that I want to go over here. Right. That's Oh. Right. Not much there. I think that's it. I don't think I want to break things down too much. Okay. So the other thing that I was thinking, so all this right here. So option one could be that somebody could purchase this as a one-time payment. Is that a one time? Oh my goodness. Right? So blah, 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 all that. If they just want something, it's $5,000. But what if all these services could be purchased basically as a subscription model? I know everything's subscription these days, which is really frustrating and annoying. I hate most of them, just like a lot of you probably. Some of them are good. Like a Netflix kind of thing is great because you don't have to mess around with renting movies on an individual basis. But like software, I hate not owning software, constantly paying month after month, and you don't own it. That's annoying. But sometimes it makes sense. Like music's not so bad. I'll spend thousands and thousands of dollars on CDs where you can just spend your $10 a month and have your unlimited music. I mean, that's fine. So it makes sense for some things, but it doesn't make sense for everything. So does it make sense for web design? Do you want a web design subscription? So if I know a website generally is going to cost $5,000. So I would need to know what the average duration is of somebody that's going to pay a month-to-month fee. But what if it's, $500 a month? So instead of paying $5,000 up front, you pay $500 a month. So we build the website, launch it, and then they just pay this $500 a month. And then they would get certain benefits from doing this, where they would be able to contact us for, tech support. Well, they always could too before, but I mean, that would be above and beyond what the original $5,000 would be. So they have tech support. So if they wanted marketing services, and then if they wanted, basically everything that I'm thinking of, so if they wanted some audio or video production services. This might make some more sense, actually, now that I'm thinking this out loud. So think about this, where each feature or each services, so each service, it's just like a base price, a base monthly fee. And then you can add and subtract to that in order to get what your whole web presence or whatever your whole thing is going to cost. So I guess the idea would be like, imagine if you needed to have a video guy, a photography guy, a web guy, and a marketing person, or even a communications person, all these kind of 5 people. Instead of hiring them out, you could hire Pixel, and we'll be all of that for you. So, it's $500 a month. So say like a web is equal to $500 a month. Actually, let's start on this page here. So web is $500 a month. And then maybe AV, if you want specific work done, I don't know, maybe that's $2,500 a month. If you want continual content to keep being generated, right? So if it's, written content. Written content. I don't know. Again, these numbers, I'm just kind of throwing things out there right now. It's $500 a month. What else would there be? Yeah. So like just how, I would almost roll this up like social media, audiovisual production. If somebody wants to do a podcast, a weekly podcast or a weekly video, part of that price tag would include, chopping things up into different social media campaigns. But see, the thing is then this price is like so low, like the amount of work that it takes to create videos. Like imagine if somebody wants to, they want a good looking podcast, right? So I come in, I bring all my camera. Well, they come in, they'll be coming here. So I have this place set up, right? So they come in, they record the podcast. It's 3 cameras set up. It's an hour, 2 hours just to record it, and then you got to edit it, and then you got to chop it up, find the good parts, and then export into different. You're looking at for one podcast, you'd be looking at. Like it's like a day's worth of work, like 8 to 10 hours worth of work. So if that takes 8 to 10 hours worth of work and you want to do that once a week, so you're looking at upwards of 40 hours, right? And then at 2,500 divided by 40. So what do we have here? What's that? 5, 6. So 6, that's 40. Blah, blah, 10. So that's 62 something, 62 point. So at $2,500, that's $62.50 per hour. And I haven't gone over this yet in terms of the business, and how I kind of structure things financially. So that's not a lot of money per hour for a business, because that's just straight for the business, right? So for me, this is how I structure every $100 that comes into the business. So $100 that comes into the business, you got to put aside 20% for tax. That's just how it is. And then I got to put away 5% for each one for marketing. I put 5% for innovation, and I put 5% for like emergency. And then from there, there's 30%, I think. What's left? 20, 30. That's 35%. So what's left? 65%? Yeah. I think 30% goes to operations. And then 35% goes towards salary or payment for whoever. So out of every $100 that the company makes, I make $35. This is kind of, in general. So $62 in terms of what the company makes, 30% of that is not even $20 or 35%, let me bring out a calculator. $62.50 times 35. So that's 21.9, whatever, per hour. That's the hourly rate. That's not a good rate for a sustainable business. But anyways, but that's okay, because there could be in this, for this feature, it could be dependent. It could be, like different options, right? Once a month, every 2 weeks, whatever, right? It all depends on what the person wants to do. But the point is that it's a turnkey solution. The thing is whatever it is that you need done, we will provide everything that you need in order to be able to get it done. And the thing as well too is if things are on a month-to-month basis, and hopefully it's not just, I'll buy it for 1 month, cancel, buy it for 1 month. We have to be careful to protect ourselves against something like that. But the idea could be as well too that the one company might really, really stretch, what they're asking for you, and another company might be a little bit more laxed. Some companies need a little bit more hand-holding than others in terms of their support or what have you. So if that's the case, sorry, I'm looking at the camera and my hands are moving. You're seeing that. So if that's the case, maybe things could kind of average out, right? Okay, this company, okay, I'm charging $2,500, but it really kind of cost me, $3,000 or $3,500 is what they should really be paying. But this other company, they're really good. They work very efficiently, whatever. They could have been just like $1,000. So maybe things can kind of even out too. So is that the right way of thinking about it? I don't know. I'm not sure. But that's what we're going to learn. We're going to figure this all out. And one of the key things is going to be talking to my existing clients and asking them questions like, why do you like to do business with me? Why do you do business with me? And will you continue to do business with me? And finding out those answers will help me make sure that I focus what I offer, focuses what I will offer to my clients, to keep me, just going in the right direction. Going in the right path. I don't know where I'm going with that. But you know what your customers want and they're happy. You find that out, and then you make sure you kind of focus on those things that work and not on the things that obviously that don't work. So always listen to your customers in terms of what feedback they're giving you. Not that they're always right, but especially when you're developing an app. I mean, Jesus, so many companies get an idea for an application. I had a billion ideas, and they get stuck in this pattern of like, my idea is the best idea and I'm going to build it and I'm going to find people that are going to want to use it. And if you're not going to listen to your users as to why they're using it or why they don't use it, then you're not going to be able to figure out how to pivot and how to create something completely different. A lot of the big companies that have been successful, that have millions of users, they started out something completely different. And they end up being where they are today, or these companies worth billions. So listen to your customers. Okay. So with this, could that So trying to think of how like the checkout process would be, right? So you go in, I would like a website, so it's just like your basic or an e-commerce, so they click on one of these and then they're asked like another question, so basic website, you get a blog, you get, what else would you get with a basic website? You get search, you can get some filters, you could get, what else could you get? You get updates, you get maintenance, and then, whatever you get here with e-commerce. And then from that, so one, you select your base package. And your base package could be your type of website. So, okay, I like this. Okay, so you can have, your blog, news, just kind of information. So think of a company, a lawn mowing company, or your local coffee shop company, whatever. They just want, here's where we are, here's what we're doing, here's our Instagram, here's pictures, information about us, right? Maybe some articles or whatever. You're just your basic type of website. And then you can have your e-commerce. Let's just go e-com. And then for us, we're going to focus on digital products. I don't want to get into dealing with people with physical stores at this stage of the game, because it's not my forte. And then the third one, you want a membership website. So a lot of people like to think about creating communities, or they want to, they're just a creator or what have you, and they want to create their own membership site outside of something like Patreon or whatever, which takes like 10% of your your earnings or whatever your people are Patreoning for you when they join up, right? So I love building membership websites. So that's another type of website. So okay, you go onto the website, you collect. Oh my goodness, what happened there? Why are you turning off? I don't know why my camera just turned off. That's annoying. And it's not that it's overheating, because it shouldn't, because it doesn't have a battery in there. Well, that's annoying. Gotta figure out how to get this thing to stop shaking so much. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why the camera just decided to die, or to turn off. Maybe it's been pretty much an hour since it's been on. Was there like an hour time limit? Very strange. Okay, so where was I? Okay, types of websites. You can have just a standard kind of static informational website with a blog and what have you. You can have an e-commerce, which has digital products. You have a membership website as well too. And I mean, I don't know if this is a fourth one or if this makes, maybe this should be more of an add-on, but I'm thinking of things with dynamic content where you need to have basically some kind of database structure built into it. And that's probably something I would imagine would make sense. Would imagine that would make more sense if that could be somehow captured in like an add-on, you know. So yeah, I want a website. Okay, you know, you select a basic website, so it'll have, you know, a news section and all that kind of stuff. But if you want anything that's more dynamic, so for example, like say you were a car dealership and you had a whole list of cars and you want to be able to track your inventory of cars. Not that you're selling online, but just that you want people to go onto the website, says, show me all the available cars, right? And then you could click on, I want to see all the red Toyotas, whatever. And then that'll populate, right? So those kinds of things. And I don't know what the word is to categorize that, but it should be something. It should be. So anything requiring a database. And yeah. Is that an add-on? Question mark? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think. If something like that should be an add-on or should be like a different website. Because then we're not necessarily going like with something that needs a database. It's not that we're necessarily building like a full-blown application or anything like that. It could just be that there's just dynamic content that needs to be continuously updated. So think of I don't know, just like a listing, some type of like a listing site, you know, like a real estate agent has different houses. So there's going to need to be an interface for like the user to interact with the data, right? To be able to like create new records or whatever. There's got to be a term for that, you know, like that type of website. Let me do a quick search here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Do we just call it like a dynamic website? I mean, typically when you have like a blog is a dynamic website, right? Because you're putting your blog posts in a database and you're calling that. So yeah. Okay. We'll just leave it as dynamic for now. Another possible type would be application. That would be something with users, payment processing, whatever, just building an application that people use. And that could also be like a desktop as well as mobile, right? You know, not like Twitter. Twitter's an application. Instagram, all these things that people that you use, YouTube, that's an app, right? So can I build apps? Absolutely, I can build apps. Have I done it before? Yes, I have. Is it fun? Absolutely. I mean, the freelancer website or app that we're building for Pixel, that's an app, right? So I love building those things. And should we offer them? Yeah, I think so. Now the question is, so here we have these things. Is this too much? So again, keep it simple. When they want to buy, do we want to bombard them with all these different things? I think what it would be this would be one. This would be two. Yeah, that would be three. And this is four. But I think when you're talking about an application, if someone selects that, that's going to go straight to a contact form. And then I'll probably put that through and just auto schedule. So when someone selects, they click on, I want an application. They're like, okay, there'll be a description, like, what do you want on your application? Or what kind of application you want, kind of give me the details. And then there'll be like a contact form. Okay, book an appointment and we'll get together and we'll talk about it. And then that's custom. Or is it custom? Or is it, yeah, see, I hate charging. Yeah. I mean, it could just be, you know what? You want a custom application. It's going to be, $10,000 a month. That's just the price. But then there's a problem with that. I mean, if the client's going back and forth and then there's going to be issues with time, and if they don't have enough, like, I could just see that being a little bit of a hassle because it's $10,000 a month until the application is done, right? So you might as well just settle on a price, and then no one's stressing out about time and, this has to be done today because then it's next month and then we got to pay another $10,000 or whatever. So yeah. Okay. Anyways, so that's a little bit into the weeds, but that's all right. So we have those four things. Okay. So what the hell? I mean, you're not overheating, are you? Maybe it's overheating. Okay, we're going to have to abandon the overhead camera for a little bit. Maybe I'll turn it back on in a few moments here if it is overheating, although it doesn't feel hot at all, so it's very strange. Okay, so what do we have? We have our three types of packages, right? We're talking about. So there's a blog or a static website or informational type website. There's e-commerce if they want to sell digital products. And then there is a membership website. And then an application if they want an actual app to be developed. So does that even need to be in here? I don't know, because I think the whole thing would be like, start your website, today or whatever it is. Yeah, okay. So now I want to go, maybe what I'll do, because I really want you guys to kind of see what I'm writing here at the same time that I'm thinking about this. So let's go here and let's zoom in on this thing. Okay, so what are our offerings? So step one. select your base package. And those options are let me bring this keyboard closer to me. All right. Information. It could be econ. It is 2 M's, isn't it? Yeah. Digital products only. And then the third thing would be memberships. I'll just write this here just to keep it in my mind. And then step 2 is basically like drilling down into your packages. Or add-ons and features. Whoop. So that the informational. So what you can ask is content generation. Or when I say content in this sense, I'm talking about website content. Help with, and the website copy. Let's just call it that. Website copy. Is that a service that you're going to need? Okay. And is there a difference? Okay. So I'm just thinking about this for a second. So if this is $500 a month, at what point are they not going to want to continue paying $500 a month? Because, hey, I just wanted my website, you built it, and it's done. I mean, maybe even here, it could be something like this. An initial choice. Like a one-time website versus like website as a service. So that's the choice. You have a one-time website? Okay, well that's $5,000 plus, depending on what services that they want, versus as a service. And if they want it as just a one-time, they still go through this. You know, do you need website copy? Do you need photography? Yeah. And this is for, basically it's for creating imagery for the website. We're not talking about social media or anything like that. This is just creating the stuff for the website. What else can we put in there just at the start? Right, maybe, okay. Before I get to those specific for each individual one, what would be an add-on? Let's identify our add-ons to each, like this for a subscription. Yeah, I think, yeah. Just identify our add-ons. Okay. What do we offer as additional services initially? Okay. So there's no audio. So photography. That should almost be separate. Yeah, I don't want to put photography. Oh, do I? Right. So I think the way to market this thing, and the way I need to think about this, because I'm thinking about it in two different contexts. The one context is where somebody just wants a website, and the other one is somebody wants a website, but they also want to, hire out a company to do all their internal creative stuff, right? So maybe that's how this whole thing, how Pixel needs to be marketed as. Like, market as like a replacement for, comms, creative, development, or tech. Right? So it's not like Pixel, we make websites. It's Pixels. We are your creative branch to your company, and we help you, whatever, whether it's, generate more revenue or get more well known. So then we're not so much of a web design company, but we're more of a, I don't know, like a new age. I don't know what is this called? What would it be called? Some type of, I don't even know. It's like, because it's not an agency in the traditional sense. Because it's like we're an employee. It's like you hire Pixel to be another arm of your company, right? You hire us to be your creative team. So everything that you want done creatively, you just come talk to us. Yeah. I don't know what to call that. What do we call that? We're going to need to find some kind of terminology that encompasses that. So when you're on the website, it's like, hey, click here to just buy a website. $5,000 website. As opposed to, this is $500 a month, but what do we get with that? That whole thing. What is that? What is that called? It's just something about like your whole, having your own personal creative team in your back pocket. I wonder if it should just be, I want to simplify this, and I'm making it too complicated in the sense, okay, well, here's what I'm thinking before I get too deep into this. So should it be something where do we want to limit all the different things that people can do like as a service, right? With Pixel, it's like, oh, well, photography costs an extra this much a month. Videography costs this much. I want to do podcast this much. I want you to write some copy this much. I want you to just cut and paste like the different videos for social media. It's this much. Oh, I need you to just create some flyers for us. Oh, that's, should it just be like, no, it is, $5,000 a month and you get everything. You have access to all of these things. So if you need this, we'll do it. If you need that, we'll do it. But the caveat is that we can only do like one thing at a time, right? So what do you need done? And then there has to be like a limit. And how do you limit that? Right? So that's where, that could be interesting, because then it takes away all these decisions. Like you're buying that car. We went through the whole Tesla thing. I want this. Oh, you want the heated seats. You want power steering and all the different little features. But if it's just rolled up into one package, you don't have to pick. It's like, it's this. And maybe there could be different ones. Like, oh, I just want, this is more like the content, like written content package, where I just want creative, like artistic, not artistic. Well, yeah, just like I want some designs so to be able to do flyers and whatever and write some content. That's one thing. But then the other one is like the whole audiovisual production package. That's a whole nother thing. But are people going to want it on a month-to-month basis, or are they going to want it to I'll just buy it once because I just need one video, which could be okay. But then you could offer discounts, right? Oh, well, if you want the video production, well, that's, $2,000 a month or $4,000. I don't know. I have no idea how much this will cost. So it's $4,000 a month. But if you sign up for, 4 months and you pay 4 months up front, instead of it being, say, $2,000 a month and it's $8,000 for 4 months, then it's like, $7,000 for 4 months. Or if you do it for the whole year, instead of it being $24K for the year, then it's just 20. Yeah. That could work. So then the idea would be, so we have one product, which is like your website. Does that make sense? With, a couple so if there's a few add-on options like the AV package, which is whatever it is. And then there's also, content. I'll say like design oriented, where if you need flyers, banners, do I want to go with the whole things? I don't do logos, so that's not going to be part of it. Stuff for print, brochures, just stuff like that, whatever. That's $2,000 a month. Yeah, or a combination. or both of them, and then it's a little bit of a discount, and then it's $4,000 a month. But then here's the thing. People might want to purchase these packages without having a website. Right? I mean, hey, I already have a website. What the hell? I want audio video production. Certainly could be something that people can do, or people should be able to buy. Or they might be, hey, I just want to make a banner. Or make a presentation. The only thing that I have reservations on, especially with this design thing, is, I mean, can people abuse it? Sure. They'd be like, oh, I like a million different things, but it could be, it's, you can do one, you could submit one at a time, and one will be worked on at a time. And, it's not like I can start, okay, 1 month. Okay. I'm going to design 30 different unique flyers for you. That'd be way too much. We can cross that bridge when we get there in terms of people maybe trying to abuse, I guess you can say, abuse the unlimited availability of things. I feel like my whole goal and my whole thought process is to keep this thing simple. But I'm worrying and have this thing nagging at me that this is just too complicated. Because then the question is like, are we a web design company? Or are we a video production company? Or, do we make podcasts for people? You just design flyers? Are you just a creative design studio? Or is it really like, hey, I only just create or make available these services for people that are my clients for a website. Like when I want to, I was going to say, when I want to work with somebody who wants to do like a monthly podcast, for example, do I want to work with them if I don't have a website? Well, or if I haven't built a website? Well, of course I would. Why wouldn't I? Sorry for the silence. I'm just really trying to work this out here in my mind. What do I want Pixel to be long term? If I think about it that way, I mean, it's hard to say because things could go in so many different directions. But if I had to say what I would like, is to be, I guess a full, like a creative studio where, if I'm thinking about what our offices or what our place would look like, you would have places to record podcasts. So we do podcasts for people, places to like video and audio, obviously the audio. Would also have a place to record video, and that could be people that want to record, YouTube videos, or they can want to record courses where, courses is a huge thing where people, they have information that they want to create their course, but, they don't have the know-how or the capabilities to create, like high quality, professional looking videos. Help with that. And just if people just want to create YouTube videos, they just want to have a place to film. It's great if you can go to one place, knock off like your whole month worth of videos in like a day or two. That's fantastic. And then you provide those editing services as well too. And then with that, you help with marketing and creating. So maybe it's more of a content creation studio, which I guess could be what a media company is, which is, I guess, where the name Pixel Media came from. So we do that. And then, are we creating websites? I guess that's part of it. Sure. So if that's what we do, and there's also education. I would love for Pixel to be a place where you can come and you can learn how to do all these creative things as well too. That's, education's everywhere. A lot of people are doing it. But there's, this is where, who cares about what the competition is? Other people are doing it, but they don't have me, as the teacher or whatever, right? So, that's another part of the future, doing that kind of stuff. But again, that's getting way too ahead here. So if that's the case, if we want to do that kind of media stuff, so then it makes sense to offer those things as part of our services, to offer audiovisual production. But the problem is, of course, is I don't have a dedicated studio to be able to do lots of these different things for lots of different people. But that could come quick in order to getting space. So that wouldn't take long. I would just need a few regular clients to be able to think that it would make sense to make the investment to get some office space or whatever for like $1,000 a month or whatever. Maybe I'm totally thinking about how cheap office space is, or I'm not thinking how cheap it is. Maybe I'm underestimating how much it costs. I just imagine with all the stuff with the pandemic and everything that you see so many offices abandoned, that office space wouldn't be as expensive as maybe it would have been back in the late 2010s. So anyways, point being is that if there's a client or two that I know wants consistent video production, we can certainly renting out some space makes a lot of sense to be able to have that stuff set up and just there for people. Anyways, okay. Getting back to this. Got to figure this out. Okay. Does it make sense to separate this out? So let me know, guys. Am I thinking too much about this? Should I just focus literally on websites and everything that goes with websites and forget about like audio production, video production, all that kind of stuff? Because maybe it's too much. Like I want people to hit the website and be like, this is what you do. So if that's the case, so someone says they want a blog, they want e-commerce or membership or an app, right? So what are the add-ons with this? So it could be, what I was saying, content written content copy. So do you need to have that done? So, and then there was two things. What just happened? Yeah. Is it one time versus ongoing? And I guess that could be, I mean, these questions could almost be the same, right? Like if they select, oh, I need a blog. Or if they say like, do you want a one-time website or do you want it as a service? And then that'll dictate the price. Or sorry. So if they select, if they say they want a one-time website and they just want a blog, and then I could still ask, well, do you want written copy? Do you need help with that? So then they might say yes. So, but if they're asking for it as a service and they say, do you need help with that? I guess it still could be, do you want written copy just for help on the website initially? But also, do you need ongoing support to write like the blog posts? So it's website copy versus ongoing. Okay, so the next thing is dynamic content. So need to identify so we need to identify the user interactions, right? Does that make sense? And by user, I mean more so by like the owner, right? Like they need to be able to go in and add records to whatever it is that that they're doing, right? Real estate, they need to add a listing, or again, a car dealership, add a car, or whatever it is that's dynamic, right? And then, it's almost like if they want a service, then you could offer other things. So do you want continual marketing? Do you want, just marketing on its own could encompass all the things that we're talking about. Right. So no matter what, if somebody wants a one-time website or a website as services, they're each going to have a monthly hosting and maintenance fee. That's built in. Everyone has that regardless. So what would be in the marketing? Minimal Minimal product. I don't even, I'm thinking if I want to put in anything here that has to do with video production or audio, and I don't think I do. So what would the add-on be? I mean, there's, social media marketing. What does that mean? Does it mean that actually create posts? Oh yeah, maybe. Hmm. Could it be that if somebody selects, they want the website as a service, that they just get this? You don't pick it, you just get it. Because what I'm thinking of is after, a year or 2 years or whatever it is, the website as a service is going to be worth more than if they just would have got a one-time payment, right? Or if they would have just bought it for one time. So like if this is, let's just say this is $6,000 and the website as a service is $500. So in 12 months, that's going to equal, right? So if someone is going to continue to pay $500 a month, what value are they going to receive if they do that? Well, part of that value could be, you get, other than getting your website, we're going to work with you to create social media content, right? We're going to write news and blog posts for you. And, we're going to, I guess, those two things are already huge to do that, right? So it's basically, we're going to take your website and we're going to maximize, your return on your investment of your website by continually promoting it and working on it, keeping the content fresh so that it just does better and better over time, if that makes sense, right? And we're not going to let it go static. Yeah, I think I'm liking this. Okay. So if they want the website as a service, this is what they get. They get marketing. Okay. They also get, what the hell was I thinking? Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Oh my goodness. Why didn't I write this down? I need, where's Elon Musk's Neuralink. I could just think of something and then it just automatically gets captured before it just gets lost in the ether after like a split second. Okay. Oh, right. So do they get a redesign, a refresh of brand, every 2 years, something like that, right? So if you've been paying for 2 years, you get a new design just to keep things up to date, right? Not so up to date, but so of course you get continual, not updates, but just maintenance, support, access to, professional staff. I don't want to say professional, but like, experts. Yeah. To creative experts. Yeah, you get marketing. And you could get creative services. This could be something where it could be 2 tiers. So the creative services would be like material. Oh, but see, is that different? Yeah, let's go say like print materials. So here's the thing that I'm thinking. Social media content. What the hell does that mean? And does this mean that we have to become experts in this field? For example, company comes up, it's a hair salon. And they're like, yeah, I love this. I don't have any time to do social media. You'll do it for me. Perfect. And just pay the flat fee. Great. But what are we doing? What does that mean? Does that mean that we just take their Twitter and start tweeting? Probably not a good idea. Do we take their Instagram and start posting pictures? Also dicey. What does that mean? Or maybe what it means, or what I think would be better, or at least what I think would be doable in terms of knowing what our knowledge and strengths are, is that we create content, whether that's news posts or articles, and then we just kind of chop that up and then distribute that onto social media. So it's not so much of like, hey, this is what the company's doing. Here's some selfies of, the people cutting hair and all that kind of stuff. But it's more of, we'll write the content and then we can cut that up and distribute that into the different platforms. So, yeah. And that's based from the website content. Right. Right. Okay. So you get dynamic. Yeah. So if they want a website as a service, this is what you get. Ooh. Excuse me. You get marketing. We'll write content for you. But what if they don't want that? Well, unless they don't want that, then just pay a one-time fee. Yeah. Boom. That's simple. But what if they decide here? Well, then here's another problem. So a company decides, yeah, this sounds fantastic. Let me go with this package, this add-on, or this as a service thing. So they do that. They pay 2 months worth, so they pay $1,000, and they're like, you know what? I don't want this anymore. Just give me my site. So now they got $6,000 worth of a website for $1,000. So how do we navigate that? I guess what that could very well be is that they have to sign an initial 1 year like contract, I guess you can say. So you have to do this for a year. So, I mean, how often is that going to happen? I don't know. Or maybe it could just be like, if it's a subscription model, then they just lose the website. Just like you don't pay for your Netflix, you don't get Netflix anymore, right? And then and then we could just give them the option to buy it out, right? So if you don't want it anymore, then you just pay the difference. And then once it's at that stage, then, once it's at the stage where they've paid more than what the website would have cost standalone, like more than $6,000, then they could terminate at any time, and then I will just give them the website, and then say it's yours. Yeah, I think this is making sense. But the question, yeah. Okay, so what do you get? So you get marketing. So you want a website. Okay, you're just a small business, but you don't know how to make a website. Of course, we'll do that for you. But you also don't know how to maintain it. And we're going to have to illustrate what the benefits are of maintaining a website. So, and having somebody who's like a designer have professional, high quality visual design and consistency. So many times I'll build a website and I'll even have like a blog component, and then people get on, they're using it, and then it ends up looking like shit because they're not designing things properly, or they're using like the world's worst images, making things look amateurish. So this could help add consistency in the look and feel to someone's website. So you get the marketing, you get all the content, we write everything for you, we cut it up for you. Every 2 years, we'll completely redesign your website for you at no extra charge. That's just, you do it for 2 years to get a refresh. It's not like the content or anything's to be redesigned, it's just the look and feel, right? So, they might have had a new logo or something like that. So that's something we work with them. They're always going to get maintenance. They're always going to get support. So if they need to reach out to us for anything, no problem whatsoever. Of course, if someone just does a one-off website, they can still reach out to us anytime. But if there's any work that's going to need to be done, that's not going to be free. They're going to have to pay for that. So then you could offer some other types of creative services. So if they want print materials, if they want brochures or anything that they're going to print, they can come to us to do that kind of work. I mean, maybe this could be like, there's so many, right? And then there could be, so I don't know what to say here. Like, we'll get video production. / photography. So that's a little bit different because it's hard to quantify. Because what does that mean, right? So sticking with the hair salon, I mean, obviously what will be amazing for their Instagram or whatever, or even TikTok, you just create these little videos and images of people getting their haircuts and the befores and afters and all kinds of cool stuff like that. That would be amazing. But that's more than just, going in for, hey, we'll do your photography for you, which means we're going to do corporate headshots of your 5 staff and then boom, 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 done in half a day. And that's it, right? There's lots of different things that could mean. So I think that we'd either have to have discussions with the client with what that means if they want video or photography production, or it's just going to be something where it's just like ridiculous. Not ridiculous, but it's like, well, that's $3,500 a month because shit's not cheap. Okay, just to put it in perspective, like right now, if somebody comes and says, hey, I want you to, shoot some video for us. We want to do some like interview style, whatever that is. At a minimum, what that's going to be for me right now to charge is $1,000 for one day. That's at a minimum. It's probably going to be closer to $1,500. So why? I mean, I got to bring over like $10,000 worth of gear. So that's one thing. So there's costs associated with that. And then there's a whole 8 hours of day of doing work. And then there's editing and everything afterwards to get that stuff. And I don't even know if that's included in the price. That's why I'm saying $1,000 to $1,500. So that's for one day of work, how much that's going to cost. So, or how much I charge. So, if someone's going to want to get unlimited, well, it's not cheap. I guess is what I'm trying to say. But again, it's tough too, because you want to provide value for people, and I want to help other small businesses become medium-sized businesses, businesses become big ones. Like I want us all to grow together, really. Like I could love to have this group of clients that we all work together and we all like lift each other up, right? So I'm not trying to make the most money I possibly can out of each single client, but I have to balance, the value I provide with being able to sustain a company, of course, and for people to be able to pay for it, right? Because at the end of the day, like this number here, 3,500, I mean, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous in the sense of that's a lot of money for to expect a small business to pay. Again, say a hair salon, they're going to pay $3,500, or say it's even something like $30,000 a year. It ends up being. Are they going to be getting $30,000 worth of business? I don't know. Maybe by upping their TikTok game and their whatever, they start selling some more products because they maybe have a store, or they start, there's a 30% increase in the amount of people that go into their store. I don't know how much that translates for a hair salon, but it could be worth it. It certainly can be worth it. It's just, I don't know. Maybe, I guess I can't look at it through the lens of a client. I have to look at it through the lens of myself. So I think of another example. Also, say there's somebody that's a YouTuber, and they're like, okay, well, I need someone to, we want to get together once a week, and I want to create a whole bunch of content, right? Film some really great looking videos, and cut a whole bunch of stuff up for all the different social media feeds. And I want to do that once a week. I need you to help film my workouts, whatever the case may be. So how much is that YouTuber going to be making on that content, right? Are they a small, if they're a small YouTuber, they're not making any money, but they're getting clients maybe, And again, am I charging $1,500 per day times, 4 times a month? Is it 40? So that's what, is it $6,000? Or is it because it's a recurring client, it's a little bit cheaper? It's half that price. It's $3,000 a month, because then at least I get to bank on that recurring revenue. And then I could hire out other people that I don't have to pay as much as, I get paid. I need to pay myself a certain amount of money, but then I could pay an employee, I don't know, whatever, right? $30 an hour. And of course there's other, if you're paying $3,000 a month, maybe that's a lot more palatable for other people. And then, or $3,000 a month. And then I could, maybe there's 10 of them, or can't have 10. Say there's 7 of them. So 1 every day of the week. All right. So that's bringing in, 7 times 3, what's that? $21,000 a month. And then you just pay someone, a good salary, $5,000 a month. Is that good? Maybe that's not good at all. Maybe it's like 7 or 8. It's probably a better salary. Anyways, that's just what I'm thinking, right? Right. Yeah. Okay. So this is what. Okay. This is what I'm thinking. Let me write this out to see if this makes sense. Okay. So. Oh, come on. Pixel offers two types of. No, let's say products. One is a standalone website or application. And two is a monthly recurring subscription, just call it that for now, for a website that comes with content, marketing services. All right. And then from there, with a recurring subscription website, customer can upgrade to have say AV production, say 1 full day a week or 2 half days a week, just to limit it, right? So it's not unlimited in that sense, but it's like, hey, we'll come to your shop or site or whatever for 1 full day a week. I want this to be bullet point. Okay, not all of it, just this one. Okay, come on. There we go. And then also, and this I don't know. Creative services. So what would come with that? It would be it would be right. Yeah, so like print materials. Or should that just come in with the regular marketing? Do I mean like yeah, again. You know what? I think we'll leave it at that. Keep it simple for now. Right? Okay. Okay. So standalone, you can have, we'll call it the static website. Yeah. Static website with blog. So e-commerce with digital product. So that depends on the amount of products. So maybe we should have like a range. Should it be a range? Like it doesn't. Like, does it matter? Is it whether somebody has 1 product or 10? I guess. I mean, there's initial work of inputting the products. but it's not like it's that much work. So let's be fair. Let's just say 7,500. And then we can have like a range, you know, with like up to, I don't know, like 25 products. And then it's like an extra $100 per product after that. Something like that. Right. And then, okay. Oh. Membership website. That's about the same amount of work as an e-commerce website because it's pretty much the same thing. Membership versus selling products. I mean, except on the membership website, you're selling, your product is the website itself, and then you have like back end places where people can go and whatever. And then you have just a full-blown application, and that's just custom. That's that, yeah. So you have that. That's the pricing for the standalone website. And then the subscription website. So static website with blog. Actually, so for this one, can you also have dynamic content? Oh, I forgot. Dynamic website. That's going to be custom as well too. It's going to be custom, or should we say, oh geez, I don't even know what to say, how much it would be. It totally depends. I would say it's something like this. And an application. I mean, they're expensive. They're not. Yeah. All right, so subscription. So here's what I'm thinking. Should there be a difference between like a static versus membership? Whatever, right? My gut and my initial feeling is that there shouldn't be a difference, or there shouldn't be too big of a difference. No. Okay. There should be. I mean, there's more maintenance. There's more troubleshooting. There's more interaction with clients because it should be more. So static website. With a blog, you know, it's $500 a month. So dynamic website. Yeah, and it does depend on what they. I mean, do we keep it? Like consistent at 10 times, or yeah, divided by 10, 1/10. So static, dynamic, and that goes the same thing for this, right? E-commerce, membership. But are there extras? Like if someone has a membership website, is there anything else in the marketing aspect that we would want to do for them? I mean, again, here, it depends on what you're doing with your members, but generally, if you have a membership site, you're probably creating stuff on your own for them. So you probably won't need, our services. Probably. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. Especially if you want to create a membership site, but you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't have the tools. And that's a different story. And then we could talk. Yeah. And then I guess a thing too would be like, if you were to have, well, I was just going to say, like, if you're selling e-commerce and you're selling products, then we could take pictures as part of, the content creation. But then again, they're digital products. So there's not any pictures to be had for that. Unless it's a digital product of a, what am I thinking? Like an ebook. And then, then you just might want to take pictures of the book itself or whatever it is. Yeah. Okay. So then that's simple, I think. Okay. So let me walk myself through this. So you head onto the homepage and it's like, we create websites that, make your customers fall in love with your business. But then it's not only that we create that, we also manage them as well too. So you go there, and then it's like, yeah, that's on the homepage. We create websites that make your customers fall in love with your business. Not only do we create websites, but we also help you keep them, up to date or whatever it is. That's the continual, whatever that subscription is, right? So, and then you scroll down, and then it just shows more of the kind of the people that we've worked with, so it has case studies, I guess you could say, and then services or whatever. And then, of course, on the top of the website or on the navigation, there's like, what's the process look like? So you want to have a tab for process. You also want a tab for services. And then you want a tab for the work, to highlight the work that we've done. And then there's like a hire us. There should be a hire us and a contact us. So hire us would be, that's the actual form that you go to buy, just like Tesla. It's like buy now. So, it's like get started, right? Okay, what do you want? Do you want a static do you want a standalone website? You just want us to build something for you? Let's do that. Or press this button. You want us to help you continually develop your brand and your, is it your brand? Could you say, are we getting into the whole branding territory now? But anyways, you go there and you select one of the other. So if you select one, okay, what do you want? Do you want just your basic website with blog? Do you want an e-commerce? Or do you want a membership site? Or do you have an application or something with dynamic data, right? So if they select this one, great. Buy now. And then what they can do, and this could be something too where we could do something maybe a little bit different. Like website in, 5 business days, right? So you're paying now, you click pay now, and then what they'll have to do is, they'll have to submit all their information. So that's the content, which includes pictures. Yeah, I still feel like maybe I would want to have a phone call with them first. No, content, pictures, pages. No, pages. See, I don't mind coming up with the pages if they just send me the content. But yeah, but if they can submit all their information and then pay, then immediately schedule a call with them for like kickoff. And that I just automate that process, that's no problem. So I'm slightly concerned about if there's any additional functionality they might want the website to have outside of your basic static stuff. But I guess if it's just easy stuff, it's not too bad, right? Like, I want to be able to, have people book me on the calendar, or, I want to be able to display, my latest Instagram posts or something like that. Like, that's pretty standard stuff. I'm not too concerned about that. I think I would rather automate the process than not. And if anything super crazy comes in, it's like, sorry. After the first initial call, it's like, I'm sorry, I can't work for you. Just give them a refund. Okay. I mean, yeah, so whether they select the static or the e-commerce or the membership, it's the same thing. You just automate. This one, it needs a quote. Depending on what it is that they want to do. And then if it's subscription, you just got to let them know what they get. Okay, does that make sense? Because what I want to do, I wanted to walk myself through this. Did I do that? Did I do that correctly? You have the products. You pick which one you want. If it's this, you can go through and you can pay now. So I think this is really going to be, it's really going to hinge on the website itself and its ability to accurately convey what it is that we do. So first and foremost, it's a web design company. Web design and development company. So we make websites. We build them, and we have just different ways of building them for you. So we can build just a website if you just want the website, but we also want to build your website, and I guess you can say it's along with your brand or along with your, it's like we want to help build up your whole company and your whole online presence, like building your online presence. So it's not just building your website, it's also helping you build your brand by creating content that'll help reach the people that you want. And it's going to be constant communication with the company in terms of who their audience is, who they're trying to reach, and learning about that and learning what kind of materials to write. Now, here's the thing. This will have to be, I have a few people that are really good writers that I have in my back pocket that I could outsource this to. Because, depending on what people are going to want to write, I might not be, like, if it's a hair salon, for example, like, I don't know. Look at my hair. I don't know shit about any of that stuff, right? So I'm not going to be able to do that. I should watch my language. Sorry about that. So I'm not going to be the best one to write about that, but other people know how to write about that. I mean, you have freelance writers that are good with that. So I guess I'm not too concerned about that. But the thing is, if the price is $500 a month, that's not a lot of money at all, right? If it's to the point where it's $500 a month, but yet I have to do, again, $1,000 worth of work. Well, what the hell? That makes no sense whatsoever, right? So, and do I want to bank on the fact that, some companies might not ask for anything, but other companies might ask for a whole shit ton of stuff, and then hoping I could find that happy medium? Do I want to get myself down into that rabbit hole? So I think what it's going to be is that it's going to have to be a limit where it's literally like, if it's that, you get one post a week at 1,000 words, whatever the hell it is. So one post a week, which gets broken down into different social media. So here's a Twitter graphic or a Twitter post, Facebook, whatever it is that you can still do, like digital stuff or digital. We can still do like text-based stuff because YouTube's not text, right? It's a video. And then that's what you get. So, and how much does that cost? Jesus. So something like that would be, say it costs like $100 an article to hire someone to write this. So if it costs $400 a month to hire someone to write an article, and then there's going to be time it's going to take to break that article down and to put it into the different social media formats, that's making no money. That's making no money. So it would have to be more than that. It'd have to be way more than that. Not way more, but we need to be looking at maybe even more than that. So it's this balance between, I'm thinking, it's a balance between what is a customer, maybe I need to stop thinking what is a customer willing to pay, but I need to start thinking about what am I worth and what value is a customer going to be getting for this. Because just thinking about this, if I could take a company and continually pump out high quality content on their blog and their website and on social media, and it's of such quality that it helps them increase their brand awareness. It increases obviously their social media presence, and it also increases their rankings in search. That's huge. That's worth a whole lot more than $500 a month. And even with that, I'm not even including the cost that it's actually going to take to build and maintain the website, right? So I think with my pricing and where I'm settled on right now, or what I'm kind of contemplating, is I'm selling myself short and my skills way too low, I think. I mean, it'd be great if if there's mad volume. I mean, if I have 100 people or 100 companies that are, on my, or that are on the subscription thing. So 100 companies times $500, that's $50,000. Well, that's not so bad because then I could hire 2 full-time writers to just do them all. But will that even be enough? You need more than that? Like, how long does it take someone to write a story? If they can write 3 stories a day, or, if they can write 3 stories a day, that's 15. So that'd be 30 a week. So that's much. That would mean I would need to hire. So that's 30 weeks. So I'm still a third. So I need to hire like 6 to 8 writers. And if I'm bringing in, what did I say, $500 times 150,000, and a writer is going to be like between 5 and 10 grand a month. Yeah, it's way, way too low. So that's still not enough. That's still not even anywhere near being as much money as it would cost, or bringing enough money. The only thing would be is if it's 100. No, again, I'm still thinking of, oh well, if it's 100 people times $500, that's 50,000. But if it's still going to cost me $100 per article, that's still $100 or $10,000 per week of costs to create all those articles. And again, I'm not just talking about some shitty crap, like a crap article, like a well-researched, documented, referenced article, right? That's actually going to provide value, right? Because the idea here is to build value for the client so that they can make more money. That's the goal. But I don't want to make it to the point too where, a company comes up and says, oh, well, look at this package for the subscription. And why would I pay $2,000 a month when I could pay $5,000 and just get a website? Good question. So maybe there's a base. Oh, sorry, I'm writing again. Oh, not that one. So maybe there's a base website where, again, base website with no ongoing like content generation. So again, then that price is $500 to $750, or let's just say $1,000 a month. And then every 24 months, you get a refresh, redesign. Because basically, so if it's $5,000 or if it's $500 a month for I just want a website, and maybe I just want to pay month to month because maybe I don't have $5,000 to pay off the bat. So they'll do that for a year. That's $6,000. So they do it for another year. That's another $6,000. So it's $12,000 in total. That 2 years is up. You've paid $12,000. Well, you get a free refresh, a new website, because you've paid that additional. And then they go for another 24 months, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of the same. Well, you can take the $5,000 and just have your website, but you can also do it on the month to month. But then if you're with us for 24 months, then you get like a free redesign, right? So the difference in price there is the ability to get your site refreshed, as you go along. So you have that because the $5,000 or the $5,000 static website is still going to be like, it depends on the plan. It's still going to be between $50 to $150 a month for maintenance and support, right? So for right. So there's always going to be that fee. So you can say, okay, it's $5,000, but if you add $50 to that a month, that's $600 extra a year, and $150, that would be what, $1,800 extra a year, right? So is there much of a difference here? Is this more expensive? I guess it could be, but I think, like, for me, having this provides a lot of value to keep your site going strong. Okay. So, and then this is where I guess it would be the add-on weekly content writing plus how do you spell dissemination? Right, so that's and then the also other add-on. Are we doing this? Right. Is audio visual production for up to 8 hours a week. And that is $2,000 to $3,000. All right. So if somebody comes up to Pixel and says, I need a website, or say, like, listen, I want a membership website. I'm creating this platform, or I'm not creating this platform. I'm creating, okay. Oh, here we go. So, hey, listen, I'm into fitness. I want a website. I want to create these epic fitness videos, and I want them to be high quality. And I want to do, I want a new fitness video, every 3 days or whatever, something like that. And I want people to be able to come onto my website, and I want them to join up and get access to exclusive content. So that's what they want. And I want someone to be able to help me create those videos, chop up all those videos into little small pieces of TikTok that I can have on a daily basis, put them on TikTok and Instagram or whatever platform they want to use. And I want to be able to create all of that content, and you can help me create all of that. So how much would that cost them? Well, and it'll be like a month-to-month fee. So that's going to cost, $750. I think it's right. Yeah. So that'd be $750 a month for the membership website. Plus for the video production, you're going to have another $2,000 to $3,000. And plus for writing the content and the social media posts and all that kind of stuff. So they want the full package, right? So you're looking at, that could be that could be $5,750 a month. That, and then you're looking at, what is that times 12? So 5,750 times 12. That could cost them $70,000 a year. Now, if it's a membership site where they're going to be getting, I don't know, say, $200, $250. Like, it really depends. I mean, some people charge like a lot of money if it's coaching or whatever. So let's just say they're going to be getting $250 per member. So that would mean that they would need to get 276 members in their site in sales in order to break even from that cost. So how many members do they already have? They'll have to do that kind of calculation to see what kind of value that they're getting, right? If they have absolutely no members, they have no idea how much this is going to be. Well, then that's where they're going to have some investments, and they're going to see how far it is that they can go with this, and how it's, and if it's working for them, and if they've done their market research and whatever, blah, 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 all that stuff. And we would be there every step of the way to help them through that, to hope that they can meet their goals. But yeah, I think that would be incredible value. I mean, if you can work with somebody for $70,000 and help them be able to create content and a website and a whole system for them to be able to have a sustainable business. And again, anything after that is just gravy, right? Because again, then it's recurring subscription. So say the first year they get 200 people, the next year they 2.5 times, they're at 500 people. So they're already making a profit, even though they're still paying for our services to create their content for them. And then they get to 1,000 people. I think that's great value. And then for people that, they don't have the money to do that on a month-to-month basis, then we're certainly there to work with them to create their website. Well, let's get your website up and running. Let's get your website up, teach you how to manage it yourself, do all the things that you want to do, and then you go out forth into the world and build your audience. And if it ever comes to the point where you want some help, then we can figure that out. We can work together. So let me go full screen here. All that being said, I think this is the way to go. I don't know exactly what the numbers are going to be. I have to sit on. I was going to say think and sit, but fist. Need to sit on it. Need to think about it for a bit. What the actual numbers are going to be? My goodness, I'm having trouble speaking. How long is it? Oh, she's over 2.5 hours. I feel like I'm just getting started. Yeah. Sorry, I'm scrolling through this while you're not seeing what I'm seeing. Okay. So I think we have the idea now of what our business model is going to be. Was that the words I was looking for? Like a business model? Like, what's your business model? Probably. Because your model will be like, are you a subscription service, or are you, one-time fee service? That's probably what I was looking for. Business model. Yeah, this is our business model. Yeah, so we have this down to standalone fees. People want a website, you get it. But if you want I won't say like a partner, but if you want a creative partner to be able to really supercharge your website, you could add that on if you want to pay on a month-to-month basis for those services. But here's the thing. These add-ons, I think they have to come on with some type of like commitment. Or maybe what it is, if you want to just maybe it's $5,000 for like a 1 month. You get 8 hours a week. This video, for example. But if you commit for 12 years or 12 months, then it's like, then it's $3,000 a month as opposed to $5,000. So add on significant savings to the price if, you commit to long term. Because committing to long term, it ends up being easier for me, because the first shoots, those are going to be the longest, because there's a lot more prep or whatever work that's going to be going into figuring out what we're going to be doing. But then as you go on, you're working with the same client, doing the same kind of things. You kind of know how it goes, so things go a lot easier and a lot smoother, right? So then it makes sense to have a discount in that space. Is there any concerns or any problems with putting all this pricing there online for people to see before they buy? Will it scare people away? will people be like, this is too little or this is too much? Is that a good thing? I know a lot of people like to have prices. A lot of people hate when there's prices. But do they though? I don't know. I love seeing when there's prices. When I go online somewhere and it's like, oh, here's a product. Oh, it's really, really cool. Contact us for pricing. Well, like when I hear that, then I'm like, okay, then I know it's going to be ridiculously high. That's usually what I default to. Because if it's just $100 a month, why not just say $100 a month? Or even a couple hundred, right? But then when it's like contact us for pricing, okay, well, you know it's going to be like thousands of dollars a month. So, which is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But, you know, I don't know. It's just nice to know. Because maybe, will somebody not contact me because they don't know what the price is? I mean, if they do know the price, then at least that weeds out people that won't be able to afford it. Because that's another thing too. Some people, there's people out there that'll be like, oh, I want a website, I want this and that, and like, oh, by the way, I have $200. It's like, okay, it's not gonna happen. At least not with me, anyways. You go to Fiverr or something like that, I guess. Pay someone $10. But you get what you pay for. I've been doing this stuff for over almost 20 years now, so I've learned a few things along the way. Oh, geez, excuse me. Okay, so I think the next stage, I need to design this website. So tomorrow we're going to bust out the old pen and paper again, and we're going to lay out this website for Pixel. And we're going to figure out how the flow is going to be to get everything, to get people from, you know, hitting the landing page and what content we're going to hit them with all the way to like the buy now, and what's going to be what we're going to automate and what we're going to actually have people be able to buy online versus versus them contacting us and then getting together and making quotes and all that kind of stuff. So, but I want like the simple stuff. Hey, somebody just wants a website and static, whatever, blah, 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 with a like a blog or news flow, you know, 5,000 static for that. That's fine. I'm happy with that. It's something that is accessible to most businesses. If anybody wants anything less than that, then, you know, they'll have to go somewhere else, because that's it's the amount of work and effort that I put in, even on just, I say a simple static site, I still put in a lot of effort in terms of designing everything and making sure the information architecture is set up, make sure that the user flow is going to be good, put a lot of thought into how people are going to navigating the website, which is basically a user experience. So I do all that stuff. If you just want someone to throw a website without any care in the world, then I'm more than happy to, you know, point people into the direction of just getting a template somewhere. That's all you want, right? So serious businesses, I want to make some serious money, is kind of the clientele that I want to engage with. Because again, if they make money, then I make money. That's the name of the game here. Help other people make money. So anyways, gotta decide the flow, do all that kind of stuff. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. Pen and paper. We're going to get back to this stuff. We're going to build out our website. And hopefully I can have it done. What day is it today? Today's the 30th. Definitely by the end of the month. But if we can get Pixel Media up and running, I got lots of client stuff to do as well too. So I'm super busy. Yeah, okay. Let's be realistic. Let's try to get something done by March 1st. So we'll spend like a few days prototyping and getting the wireframe built. And then once we get that finalized and we're happy with that, we'll sit on it for a couple of days. Then we'll start actually designing and developing the thing, probably in Webflow, because that is our thing of choice. And then we'll do some integrations with Stripe and everything for payments and stuff too. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun for you guys to follow along if you like that kind of stuff. Maybe it'll be completely boring because you hate that kind of stuff. So I don't want to assume anything. But yeah, this is just part of the process of building $1 million company, right? So, here's the thing. Okay, well, one quick before we go, let's Let's do one quick calculation. Let's make this bigger here. Okay, so we want to generate $1 million in revenue a year, right? That's the goal. So I said, given the pricing, I think we said, what was it? Say it's 3,000 for video plus 2,000 for written content plus 750 for a site, right? So say that's the average monthly cost of a customer, right? So times 12, so that's 69. Oh, that's actually not too much. So let's go $1 million divided by 69,000 per client. So that means we'd only need 14.5 customers to be $1 million company at that price point of what we just said. So that's not bad. So that's like thinking about if I can get one client a month at this full package, it would only take me a year and a little bit to be making $1 million. So hopefully by this, like with these calculations and these numbers, by next year, like maybe this year, say, well, we're just in January, maybe I get 5 clients, right? So by the next year after that, get the other like 10, whatever it is, one a month on average. We'll have 15 clients. So like 15 clients times $5,000 a month. That's 75,000 per month times 12 months. Oh, that's not even. It's close to $1 million. Okay, so anyways, it's close. So anyways, if these prices are kind of consistent and I can get on this one client every month, every 2 months, maybe every 2 months to start, but then every month next year, one new client a month. This will be $1 million. This will be $1 million company by next year. This will be $1 million a year generating revenue company. $1 million a year revenue generating company. Does that make sense? That would be where we're at next year, given all this thought stuff that we did today. Okay, so that's I think that's a good place to end it. If you've been here this whole time, well, geez, thank you for sticking around. That is awesome. I appreciate it. If you're watching this after it's been live streamed, please let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know. If you think that this is completely crazy in terms of what my pricing strategy is, let me know down there as well. Am I not going to get any clients? Am I going to get too many? I imagine at $5,000 a month recurring, that would be way too expensive for a lot of people. That could very well be true. But I'm not looking to get 1,000 clients. I'm looking to get one a month. I think that's my goal. Can I get there? I think I can. So, well, I hope I can. Anyways, let me know. I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for another live stream where we're going to start building this application to get it out the door by hopefully on March 1st. So until then, see ya. Have yourself a good night. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.